Hey y'all, welcome back. I am the Half Grass Gardener and I am all about making things easy but beautiful in my Texas garden here in Central Texas, Zone 8B. And I am all about the low maintenance lifestyle. So today I wanted to share some of my favorite low maintenance evergreen blooming perennials that do great here in my Texas garden. I'm only going to share a handful. There are definitely a lot more out there, but bang for your buck, this is where I think you should be putting your time and your effort, and it's not going to require a whole lot of either. So let's get into it. One evergreen that is a Texas native that I don't see in a lot of landscapes is Damianita. This is a cool little plant because it's got these little tiny spiky leaves and these really cute yellow flowers. It can get 1 to 2 feet wide and stays about 12, maybe 14 inches tall. And they've got, when you touch them, I wish this was smell-o-vision, they've got this smell that's kind of a cross between like spearmint and black licorice. So it's a really cool scent to it if you accidentally brush by it in the garden. This is a newer one for me. It hasn't been in the ground too long, so this is only about 12 inches wide. But it's just a fun little plant, evergreen, very, very low water needs. In fact, if you overwater it, it's not very happy. I've got one next to it that was not very happy with all of our spring rain that we got, but it's definitely coming back. You can see it almost died off and it's coming back for me. But yeah, this is such a great little plant. Good for like the front of the border because it is so low growing, and again, evergreen, super easy. I mean, the maintenance on these is practically nothing. You can prune it like you can any of your woody or herbaceous perennials, just to keep the shape, but it's a fun little plant. Highly recommend. So while I mostly stick to Texas natives, about 80% of the time I do make exceptions for non-natives if they are well adapted to our climate and are non-invasive. And one of my absolute favorites is pink skullcap. There is a skullcap that is native. It's the purple skullcap. Actually has a little bit bigger leaves and the form's just a little bit different. The pink though, I just love. So this is a low growing perennial that gets to about 18 inches tall. I actually have this in the little planter box that's attached to my mailbox. So this thing gets hot and this plant does not suffer at all. It's obviously also right next to the hot road. It will bloom pretty much spring to fall with zero issues. You might get a little bit of dieback in the coldest parts of the winter, but it's really easy just to cut off any brown areas that you get when springtime pops up. They grow about 24 to 30 inches wide. And I mean, these little tiny blooms, they're super, super small, but they are profuse. So it definitely makes a statement. And it's just a great, great option. And of course, we've got our red yucca. I don't think a lot of people realize that yuccas can be evergreen. You think of succulents as being something that's going to die off when it gets cold, but I tell you what, this thing has gone through 2 really bad ice storms. I mean, and it's just come out gangbusters with no issues. These are just fun plants. They add so much interest to your landscape. And then all throughout the summer, you get these super, super cool stalks with the fun flowers, little seed pods. I did collect seeds last year. Haven't had very good luck growing them so far, but I'm gonna give it another try. But you know, this is one of those ubiquitous Texas plants. You do see them everywhere, but it's for a reason. It's because they're so easy. I mean, you literally plant this thing and you never have to think about it again. So red yucca, evergreen, blooming, Texas native. It's kind of a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. Another one of our absolute Texas native favorites and rock stars is the fall aster. Now these bloom, as the name suggests, in fall, although I have had a few of these push out blooms in spring and even early summer. I'll put some pictures up of them in full bloom. So during the summer, they just have that evergreen interest. And they're kind of cool because the bottom of the plant has these larger leaves, and then as you go further up, the leaves kind of get smaller. These go through pruning once or twice a year. It's a good idea. You can see that I've chopped these so they're a little short right now, but that's to encourage more limb growth and more blooms once those fall months hit. So come like October, November, these gonna break out in gorgeous purple, daisy shaped flowers or aster shaped flowers. Again, evergreen. And I don't think a lot of people realize that this is an evergreen plant. So you could use this as a foundation plant. I've got them just kind of 3 in a row right here. These again are also easy to propagate. So definitely highly recommend fall aster, and Texas native, so can't beat it. Okay, so my next plant option is going to be the Salvia greggii or autumn sage. Again, this is probably not that unfamiliar to most of you guys, but I don't know if a lot of people realize that these are actually evergreen. This is probably my #1 plant I would recommend for any gardener in Texas. If you're just starting out, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer, right? It's evergreen, it flowers, it comes in reds and pinks and whites and purples, so you've got a lot of choices. Stays pretty compact in this, sort of 3 to maybe 4 foot width. They get anywhere from probably about 18 to 30 inches tall. A lot of it kind of depends on how you decide to prune it. But again, these are evergreen for us here in Central Texas, and always just put a nice pop of color in the garden. And the last plant I'm sharing with you, I'm calling an honorable mention, and that is Zexmenia. It's another Texas native. It gets anywhere from 12 to 24 inches tall and a spread of 2 to 3 feet wide. The reason why I'm calling it honorable mention is because it's evergreen some years, depending on our winter temperatures, but it's a perennial, so even if it does die back in cold weather, it will come back for you in the springtime. It's a profuse cedar, so you will definitely get some little Zexmenia buddies growing up next to it. This plant in particular has only been in the ground about 4 or 5 months, so it hasn't spread out too much for me, but it is just a beautiful option. Again, just these cute little yellow leaves. We have had quite a bit of rain this year, so it's not blooming quite as profusely right now, but you can see I've got a ton of buds about to open. So the butterflies, the bees love this, and it's just such a cute little option. All right, guys, that's my very short list. There are definitely a lot more plants that we could have included in this list. I just wanted to give you a few of my favorites, things that I think are not only beautiful, but very low maintenance. So if there's anything you would add to this list, I'd love to hear from you. Go ahead and leave a comment. If you enjoyed the content, give me a thumbs up, and I would also love a subscribe. I'll see you next time.